will be going by.
Oh yeah, see, I think I have them here now.
Full forward line number 13, Deputy Margaret, number 14, Ross Bannon, number 16, Orphan. Recent mainline record column. Goal, number 1, Colin Oxford. Full back line, number 2, Connor Flynn, number 3, Kevin Neely, and number 4, John Lord. Half back line, number 5, Kieran Callan, number 6, Brian Midden, number 23, Jack Travers. Mid-team, number 8, Owen Simon, and number 9, Tom Lewis. Half forward line, number 10, Sarah McMahon, number 11, Tom Gibbons, and number 12, Dave Martin. Full forward line, number 13, Niall White, number 40, Annie Marr, and number 16, Amy Murphy. Today's match official is Brendan Collins.
Sorry. I was looking at it. I'm sorry.
football final. Just to quickly run through the two teams. Aaron Bannon Whelan in goal for Monasterevin, Reece Heavey, Gavin Worrell and captain Cormac Stapleton in the fullback line, Kevin Dunn, Tristan Kennedy and DJ Early in the half-back, Sean Kavanagh and Owen Stapleton named at midfield, and Owen Stapleton really could play anywhere for Monasterevin, he's so versatile. Lenny Havens, Paul Maloney and John O'Toole are named in the half-forward line. Kevin Fitzpatrick, Ryan Bannon and Padraig Nash complete their lineup, although I'm sure there will be additional changes within that starting 15. For Lexlip then, it's Kyle Costello in goal, Conor Flynn, Kevin Keneally and John Doran named in the fullback line. Captain Kieran Fadian and wing-backs of Brian Gibbons and Ivan Clancy completing the half-backs. Ronan Fitzsimons and Tommy Mullick in midfield. Darren McDermott, Tom Gibbons and Desi Hines in the half-forward line, and Niall White, Paddy Marn and Eamon Murphy complete the Lexlip lineup. And he has thrown the ball in and we are underway, and immediately Lenny Havens has picked up a knock there, a knee in the back. I actually think it was his own man there in his desperation to win the throw ball. Well, we are underway here, and Lexlip will attack from left to right into the Cullen end here in the first half. No real winds at all here in St. Collins Park this afternoon. Beautiful sunshine as well. And we are underway a little bit later than expected here, 10 minutes later or so, but it is a chance here early on for Lexlip to play a ball into the full forward line, and it's Darren McDermott, the man who was sent off on 2 yellow cards in the semi-final, but he's turned over quickly there, and the Monasterevin defence do very well, and they win aside a free kick, and Lenny Havens meanwhile gingerly has picked himself up around the middle of the field there.
Yeah, well won around the middle there by Fitzsimons and Mullick together, a combination, ball brought forward into the full forward line there of Lexlip, and it was well dealt with by Owen Stapleton. Monasterevin on the attack.
Yeah, John O'Toole carrying that ball out of the fence. O'Toole holds off a couple of tackles there, plays the ball forward to Cormac Stapleton. Stapleton collected, plays it inside now, and Ryan Bannon has got away from his marker, and Bannon plays it off then to Kevin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick shoots on the run, and that's a lovely score indeed for Monasterevin, the first score of the afternoon, and Lexlip will be a little bit alarmed at how much space and time Ryan Bannon had to link up that attack and pass off to Kevin Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, fantastic transition there from defence into attack from Monasterevin. Cormac Stapleton found himself on the left half forward position all the way from corner. Played a fantastic ball at the Bannon, who won it clean and laid it off Fitzpatrick, who from the edge of the tee with his right foot put it straight between the posts.
Kyle Costello's first kick out of the afternoon, but only into the hands there of Sean Kavanagh, the towering Monasterevin midfielder, one of many former underage county players on the field here today, and here is a man involved in last year's All-Ireland Under-20 winning side, Padraig Nash. No apparent strapping on him this afternoon. He has been carrying various niggles through the season, but this time his first involvement in the game ends with 3 Lexlip men, including Tommy Mullick back there to dispossess him. Now here's the Lexlip captain Kieran Fadian carrying it up along the right hand side, back then to Conor Flynn. Needs tackled around the neck by the only man to score so far this afternoon, Kevin Fitzpatrick, and it will be a Lexlip free, but very quickly Lexlip surrounding Padraig Nash there as soon as he got on the ball.
Yeah, three lads around him straight away, and he held on to it for an awful long time, but Tommy Mullick came in and dispossessed him, and Lexlip then break away down the field.
Mullick with the free kick short there. There is a late change to the Lexlip side. Jack Travers has come in, and Travers involved sending the ball forward looking for Eamon Murphy, but he's tightly marked there by Cormac Stapleton, and that ball runs out over the sideline. A Monasterevin ball taken quickly by Stapleton inside to Tristan Kennedy, and back again to Cormac Stapleton just on his own 45 away on the terrace side. Kennedy again back inside to Gavin Worrell. Worrell fisted into Sean Kavanagh, who collects it on the edge of his 45, and Worrell again takes over. Now it's John O'Toole. He's often given the man marking duties, but he's very, very pacey and very adept at breaking from defence, and carries the ball forward, breaks a couple of tackles, but then it's dispossessed. And there won't be too many Monasterevin men running into that midfield partnership of Tommy Mullick and Ronan Fitzsimons, because we all know about the size and physicality of Tommy Mullick, but Ronan Fitzsimons isn't found wanting in that regard either. And John O'Toole ran into them, but Monasterevin have won a free kick here in front of the Lexlip dugout. Is taken quickly forward towards Paul Maloney. Another man has had a very good year for Monasterevin. He does well to hold off 2 Lexlip men, passes inside to Kevin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick carries it up the left hand side. Now Ryan Bannon takes over on the Lexlip 20, back then to Lenny Havens, and Bannon again. He's tackled there by Brian Gibbons. He goes to the ground. It's a free kick, and hard, quick, direct running there by Ryan Bannon, causing the Lexlip defence problems.
Yeah, well, I suppose all the onus is going on to the likes of Padraig Nash, and it leaves kind of Bannon to move around and let Nash be man marked, and he's doing it really, really well. His movement is exceptional there. He won a ball, he continued on for the second run, and he gets fouled on the edge of the D, and it looks like a handy enough free for Bannon to put over himself.
Yeah, Bannon will take the right-footed frees here this afternoon for Monasterevin, and this one should be pretty easy to get his account opened here for this afternoon. settles down, kicking into the dressing room end. Just signs from a couple of the flags behind over the dressing room. Maybe that small bit of a wind picking up, but nothing too significant. And Bannon, as we were talking him up with that free there, he has skied that one, sliced it. I actually had the mark down as a score already on my notes here, but that's gone a long, long way wide. And not the kind of free kick that you want for your first one of the afternoon, because Ryan Bannon certainly is capable of an awful lot better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Positionally, it was an ideal one there. He was on the left-hand side, so just outside of 21, close to the dressing room, perfect for a right foot, and he kind of looked nervous when he was taken. And he has his own way of getting himself ready, and he skied it to the right-hand side, and an easy enough one there for the Lexlip lads to deal with. Goal kick now for Lexlip.
Yeah, and as much as we have talked about the experience of some of the Monasterevin guys who have played in previous finals, always a big occasion, and there's bound to be nerves out there between both sets of players playing in front of such a good crowd here, and an atmospheric crowd who are getting involved in the game here early on. As Lexlip win possession from the kick out, and Ronan Fitzsimons now carries the ball. He's got a bit of space here to head towards the Monasterevin 45. Plays a lovely low diagonal ball into the chest there of Eamon Murphy. It gets away from his man. It's actually Niles White who gets away from his man. Gets a shot up high, and Niles White opens the Lexlip account. And that was really good play by Fitzsimons, and a good finish by White to tie up the scores at 1 point apiece.
Yeah, fantastic score. Ball breaking in around the middle, and it was picked up by Lexlip. Quick ball inside, and Murphy with a fantastic score there just inside the D.
So 1 point apiece here early in the game. 6 minutes almost played here in this intermediate football final. Cormac Stapleton on the ball, fits it forward to John O'Toole now. O'Toole sends it back to Owen Stapleton. Owen Stapleton now carries the ball away. As Philly rightfully said before the game, he's been a real warrior for Monasterevin for many years now. Gavin Worrell takes over, DJ Early, and a couple of handling errors there under no real pressure from Monasterevin, but they're still inside their own 45 and still relatively in control. Back it goes then to Tristan Kennedy. Kennedy fits it out to the right-hand side. Bit of a gap there for Reece Heavey, but he goes back to Owen Stapleton. Stapleton again away on the right-hand side. A lot of hand passing here early in this game from Monasterevin. Back inside to Gavin Worrell. And they still haven't made it outside the 45 despite all those hand passes. And Worrell goes from right to left, carries the ball right along the 45-metre line. Flips it inside to Sean Kavanagh, who almost let that one slip out of his hands, but got it forward. And now Monasterevin makes some ground with Paul Maloney, but as soon as they try to get some forward momentum, Lexlip very, very quick into the tackle and force Monasterevin backwards again. On Stapleton now on the ball inside their own 65. Slips inside here to Paul Maloney, and Maloney takes a huge shoulder off Tommy Mulick. Very fair tackle, and Maloney, in fairness to him, kept the ball moving despite the big hit, and he's back on the ball here again, Paul Maloney, and gets past Ronan Fitzsimons this time. Now he sends the ball forward by foot to Padraig Nash. Nash trying to take on Kevin Keneally, cuts inside, sends up the left-footed shot. It's a good effort, but not quite finding the target. A wide ball, and very, very hard for Monasterevin to make ground there against the strong physical Lexlip side around the centre.
Yeah, it's interesting the way the Monasterevin are set up. You know, when they're defending, I suppose they're getting narrow enough, but probably need to get a couple of more runners in around the middle third, particularly Nash. He was isolated, but that ball was kicked in. Now, it was a fantastic effort, and Keneally, I suppose, he's no slouch. He seems to be picking up Nash, so that's going to be an interesting contest.
Then the Lexlip kick out is aimed towards Tommy Mulick. It breaks loose to Darrell McDermott, and McDermott makes good ground up along the right hand side, heading into the Monasterevin 45. And that goes out over the sideline, and there will be a sideline ball here for Lexlip just outside the Monasterevin 20-metre line on the stand side, and Tommy Mulick is going to come out to take this. Mulick will, you would imagine, maybe even take a shot on here. He certainly has to come out from midfield to play a short sideline ball. He does take the shot on, but it's not a very good effort at the end of it, and goes a long way wide. We have seen players score. Of course, it is fairly narrow in comparison to maybe some of the other inter-county grounds around the country, but Tommy Mulick a bit optimistic maybe with his opportunity of shooting from there. Yeah,
disappointing, I suppose. Probably ball retention was being the key ingredient there. He was the outside of the right on the sideline. The chances of that going over are probably very slim, you know. Just ball retention and maybe getting fellas into better positions.
With ball retention there from Monasterevin, with Bannon Whelan playing the kick out short, and Monasterevin have worked it quickly up along the right hand side, and Ryan Bannon now takes over, faced up by Brian Gibbons. tackle. The ball spills from his hands, but Bannon gets it up again, flicks it off the ground, flicks it back there to Tristan Kennedy. And the ball is sent in here to Padraig Nash, 40 metres from goal, spins away from Kevin Keneally. Keneally dives in on his boot, makes the block, and the high ball spinning off there. Padraig Nash and Tommy Mulick rise for a high ball, and if ever there's a one-sided contest around the field today, that's certainly it. Mulick easily beating Nash in the air to win that ball, and now it's Lexlip coming forward. Darren McDermott skips inside DJ Early, tackled down by Gavin Worrell, goes to ground, and Worrell is on McDermott's back. The referee Brendan Cawley spreads his arms just to say play away, nothing untoward, but then there is a second challenge. Kieran Fadian went in there, and it is a free kick now for Lexlip, and Niall White is going to take this. Looking around, actually he's going to call out Ronan Fitzsimons. Now it's going to be Tommy Mulick, and again Mulick maybe will fancy taking on a shot here. He's 50 metres or so out from goal. Moves are made inside, though he takes it short, lobs it into the chest there of Paddy Marr, experienced player, another man who's worn the county jersey at various levels, including many times for the junior team down through the years. Desi Hines now back again to Paddy Marr. Paddy Marr inside to Eamon Murphy, who did a brief stint with the Kildare senior team, I think under Kieran McGeeney. Murphy takes the shot on, off balance, guides it, not even going to go wide. Gavin Worrell contested for Monasterevin with Tom Gibbons. Ball breaks loose and Monasterevin are on the ball inside their own 45. Kevin Fitzpatrick trying to carry that ball out, and again he was hit by a huge challenge, and Tommy Mulick looks in a bad way. I think Tommy Mulick's shoulder's popped out here. Kevin Fitzpatrick, he ran into Mulick, but Mulick looks in a bad way at the moment. I think he's got a serious shoulder injury there.
Yeah, it doesn't look great with Tommy. I know he's been suffering that throughout the year, and he's after giving a couple of shoulders there earlier on, but I think this one here was on his right hand side, and he met Fitzpatrick with an unbelievable shoulder, put him on his back. Ball was spilled away, but Mulick went down on two knees now, and it doesn't look good for Lexlip.
Yeah, Kevin Fitzpatrick was the man on the ball. He was running towards Mulick. Mulick came in and absolutely floored Fitzpatrick with the shoulder. Fitzpatrick needed a bit of treatment. He's back up, but it's Tommy Mulick who maybe has come off the worst, and just the way he was carrying his arm straight away there, maybe it does look as if he's got a serious problem here, and there's definite concern on the Lexlip sideline, and this would be a real blow for Lexlip and a real pity as well, just for people who are coming here to watch the final, to see one of the star players of the day. We hope that he will be okay. There is attention to him, and while there is attention to Tommy Mulick, that has given some other players the chance to get to know each other. The referee actually is Tom Gibbons, that has a blood injury here for Lexlip. He challenged, I think, down the far end of the pitch there for the last ball, and Tom Gibbons has a bit of a bloody nose. He's going to need to go off, but Tommy Mulick, thankfully, he's okay. He's moving that arm very gingerly at the moment. We watched that with great interest to see how that develops, but Gibbons has had to go off here. Lexlip will make a temporary change to replace him, but Mulick is back into the game, but he does seem to be carrying that arm. It'll be interesting to see how he can look after that as the game goes on. And Monasterevin have won a free kick here, and Lexlip will bring in Neil Jordan here shortly just to replace the stricken Tom Gibbons while Gibbons gets patched up. Monasterevin now against 14 men. Lexlip temporarily 14 man Lexlip. Owen Stapleton gets away from Mulick. Stapleton still on the ball up to the 20 metre line, but hadn't got support there quick enough. Had to try and pass it back looking for a blue jersey, but only give it straight to a Lexlip man, and Lexlip now can move the ball out of the fence. Ball is slipped inside here. Paddy Marr carries it out of his own 65. John Doran takes over, maybe better known as a hurler in this county, fine footballer as well, of course a real stalwart for the Kildare hurling team over the last decade or so. Conor Flynn passed it out to the right hand side. Back it goes again now. Paddy Marr inside the Monasterevin 45, gets around the challenge there of Kevin Dunn onto the right hand sideline. Lexlip work it through the hands to Desi Hines. Back inside to Ronan Fitzsimons, and Fitzsimons has a man over here on the left hand side. It's a beautiful pass out to Kieran Fadian. Couldn't quite get it at the first attempt. Fadian has Mulick in support here. Tommy Mulick, his first involvement since taking that knock, takes the shot on, sends it up high. It's not going to go over the bar, and it has gone a long way wide. So wide ball, 13 minutes late in this game. Lexlip 1 point, Monasterevin 1 point.
Yes, it's like a chess game here. Lexlip just leaving Murphy and Niall White in the full forward line. Positions really mean nothing for the rest of the team. They're just getting themselves back. Maybe 12, 13 lads behind the ball. Monasterevin, not as much. They're leaving the two boys inside of Ryan Bannon and Padraig Nash, and Paul Maloney is staying up top as well. So it's an interesting game. They're still trying to feel each other out. Mulick not looking right there. Even after that shot there, he went down holding again.
Yeah, he would be absolutely loath to take himself out of this game, but we'll have to see how that goes on. Meanwhile, at the far end, Lenny Havens The real veteran in this Monasterevin side has been fouled there by Jack Travers, and it is a free kick for Monasterevin. And Ryan Bannon, who missed an earlier free, has a second opportunity from almost, I would say, the exact same position here. He's 35 metres out from the end line, 7 or 8 metres to the left of the post here, kicking into the dressing room end. Just got a bit of water on board there before lining up this shot. Meanwhile, with a break of play, Tommy Mulek gets also a bit of water on board as well. A quick word as well from the sideline. He continues to work on Tom Gibbons there. He will re-enter the game with a head bandage very shortly. Meanwhile, Bannon lines up this free kick, skips, jumps, makes his way around the corner to take the shot on from the free kick, sends it up high. This one is closer, but it is a second wide, and it's a real worry, I suppose, for any team in a county final day when you turn up and your free taker misses his first couple of frees. And we know Ryan Bannon is good. He's had a great year for the team this season and has really played well, and even in the semi-final kicked a wonderful score later on against Clougharinco, but he'd be very disappointed with those first two free kicks this afternoon.
Yeah, well look, in his defence he probably made a better connection that time than the first one. He probably looked a little bit more confident, but I'm not so sure when he's going to get a third opportunity to take the free, because Pádraig Nash straight away has pointed at him that he'll be on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Nash, very capable free taker himself. The kick out there, meanwhile, from Colin Costello has gone straight out over the line, and Tom Gibbons returns to the action here. He was only off the field for a couple of more minutes there to get a bandage around his head, and Neil Jordan, who came in to replace him, makes way again. I don't think he touched the ball in his short time on the pitch, so he is replaced, and Tom Gibbons returns to the starting lineup for Lexlip. Meanwhile, DJ Early will take the sideline ball away on the right hand side. Early plays it up, looking for the run of Ryan Bannon. Tackled there by Brian Gibbons. Gibbons won the ball but couldn't quite keep the ball in play, and it's a Monasterevin sideline ball again, this time well inside the Lexlip 45. Pádraig Nash comes out to take it. Nash will send this one in towards Paul Maloney. Maloney can't get anywhere near that there. Nash's sideline ball easily picked off by John Doran, and Lexlip now move the ball out of the fence. Tommy Mulek gets the ball moving. He is not at all right. Tommy Mulek, they're really carrying that arm, trying to battle through the pain barrier for his team here. Gets on the ball again, this time right-footed, plays it away to Kieran Fadian, and now Paddy Marr for Lexlip. 16 minutes late here, a point apiece between Monasterevin and Lexlip. Hasn't been a high-scoring start to this game. Lexlip had a very slow start to their semi-final. They only scored 1 point in the opening 20 minutes. There was only 1 point in the opening 20 minutes of that game against Salins. And Monasterevin have also had some low-scoring games. Our coverage today brought to you in association with Pacchio Skoda of Ballybridis, reporting our coverage of the GAA finals here around Kildare, and the shot comes in for Jack Travers, and that one goes a long way wide. And when I was at a soccer final yesterday, the Lumsden Cup final, and I think I said the fences were on top about maybe 100 times over the course of 90 minutes. And at the opening 16 minutes here this afternoon in this intermediate football final, you'd have to say the fence is very much so on top again. Yeah, even on top of that, the quality isn't great. In fairness, there's a lot of breaking ball, a lot of messing, a lot of unforced errors being happening here, and that was a woeful effort there by Jack Travers. Probably hit the corner flag, and probably something that Lexlip probably didn't need it. They probably need to get working to the D and take the chances from there. Anything outside of that is a little bit high risk, but I suppose 16 minutes, 17 minutes gone there now, and I thought the game would have been a little bit more expansive than this, but they're still looks like they're still trying to figure each other out, and neither team are looking to win it by the looks of it. Plenty of mistakes on both sides at the moment, and Monasterevin have just given that ball away as well, looking for Pádraig Nash, but he was a long way behind Kevin Keneally on that occasion. And the Lexlip fullback able to tidy things up, although he has now picked up a bit of a knock on his ankle. He's trying to run that away off on the far side, but Ronan Fitzsimons takes over on the ball here for Lexlip on the right hand side, carries it, but then under no real pressure just completely missolos that ball, and Lexlip are under pressure now because John O'Toole has spotted a bit of a gap. O'Toole carries it forward onto the 20 metre line, has to check back looking for support. Pádraig Nash is there in support. Nash, lovely bit of jink, and well, Billy, we were asking for a bit of quality in this game, and two of last year's All-Ireland under-20 champions provided. Roland Fitzsimons just gave away that ball under no pressure at all. John O'Toole carried it forward inside the Pádraig Nash. A lovely little quick feat there to get away from his man, create half a yard from himself, and it's 18 minutes gone here. Monasterevin 2 points to 1 ahead. If there's one player from Monasterevin you don't want to give the ball to, and that's John O'Toole. He's so direct, he's so athletic. The speed of him there, bursting away from the Lexlip defenders, made a great decision, gave the ball into Nash, and his quick feet got him away, and a fantastic effort with his right foot straight between the posts. Ryan Bannon with the ball as Monasterevin break forward again. Monasterevin building a bit of momentum here. Lenny Havens now on the edge of the D, has support with the man who kicked the first point of the afternoon, Kevin Fitzpatrick. He sends up the shot there under pressure, but he can't find the target here. So 19 minutes played, still 2 points to 1 in favour of Monasterevin. And mistakes aplenty here from both sides, and I can see how Wayne Fitzpatrick is actually heading down to the bottom corner there to have a bit of a warm-up. Did hear whispers that possibly we will see him maybe as a half-time introduction. Remains to be seen how early he comes into the game. He certainly will add quality in the forward line and a quality finisher. The kick out will be taken here by Kyle Costello. I think the last kick out he put it straight out over the sideline. He will aim this one towards Tommy Mulick. Mulick rises, collects that one well, takes the mark, and immediately looks to send this ball forward. Sends it long towards Eamon Murphy. Cormac stable it is right on Murphy's shoulder though. Breaks loose, and DJ Early is such a fine reader of the scrappy possession. And the ball breaks loose. Early does so well to pick it up there and win back possession for his team. And now it's Kevin Fitzpatrick here in the left half wing back position. John O'Toole then is fouled on the edge of the 45. Fouled there by Niall White. John O'Toole with the ball in hand for Monasterevin. 20 minutes played here. Monasterevin 2 points, Lexlip 1 point. Had Kyo Skoda of Ballybridis sponsoring us here this afternoon in St. Collins Park as we bring to you live on KFM this year's intermediate football final. Philly Wolf of Moorfield fame and of course current Carberry manager alongside me here in the commentary box this afternoon, bringing you all the thrills and spills of this game. There's been more spills than thrills so far in the opening 20 minutes. Plenty of time still left in this game as Nash looks to find Ryan Bannon with his pass, but good defending by Lexlip. Good tackle by Brian Gibbons, got the hand in, and John Doran tidies things up. Back to Tom Gibbons. No one's mistaking Tom Gibbons anyway. He has that bandage on his head following that earlier collision. Now rolling for Simons forward to Brian Gibbons, and Gibbons collects at pace here, heading towards the Monasterevin 45. John O'Toole gets back well though, forces Gibbons to check a stride. Tommy Mulick trying to feel himself back into this game following that earlier collision that had us fearing maybe that he could be forced out of the match. Mulick looking a lot better now. Darren McDermott on the ball, plays it out to the right hand side to Paddy Marr on the 20-metre line. Tough angle to take a shot on. Sends it up across the face of the goal. It's a wonderful score from Paddy Marr. A wonderful score indeed. Well, we were training our necks looking out of the press box to even see where he was kicking that from, right down in the right-hand corner. One of those shots that if it goes wide, you say, why are you taking a shot on from that position? But when it goes over, it looks superb. And Marr tries up the score, 2 points apiece. Yeah, so Lexlip were going very lateral around the middle there. And in fairness to Marr, he made a lovely little run inside. He was found with a nice kick pass that he got himself in a really good position, albeit on the wrong side for right footer. But it's in his locker. Marr, fantastic footballer for Lexlip over the years with a brilliant score. Monasterevin have played themselves into trouble from the kick out, and Tom Gibbons puts it over the bar, and maybe Monasterevin is slightly lucky to only can see the point there. Aaron Bannon wheeling. He did have an earlier kick out, completely missed kick that went straight to John O'Toole. He got lucky that time, but this time straight to Lexlip, and maybe only lucky to can see the point from it. Yeah, bad kick out, just landed straight in Eamon Murphy's hands, and Gibbons went off his shoulder and popped a lovely score over the bar to make it 3-2, as you say. It's interesting enough with Tom Gibbons. He's occupying the centre forward position, but the minute Monasterevin turn over the ball, he's going back and protecting his own D. A job that he's been doing for Lexlip for a long time now. So 3 points to 2. Lexlip take the lead for the first time, and Monasterevin have tried to take that short kick out. There is, looking at games across the summer, a lot of scores come from the short kick outs, giving away possession. You're obviously managing Philly at a high level as well. What would your thoughts be on that? Because I suppose there is obviously the risk reward. You want to keep possession as much as possible, but of course when you concede possession from a short kick out, the potential to concede a goal is right there. Yeah, no, look, it is high risk, but again, I suppose you don't want to be giving the ball away for every kick out and making everything a contest in around the middle and giving it 50-50. So you work with stuff in training, you try to isolate players, get them into space and make it as low risk as possible. Obviously that's not always the case, but every manager I think in the whole county, no matter what level they're at now, wants to retain possession from the kick outs, and Monasterevin and Lexlip are no different, and I'm sure the managers of both teams know that there's a risk involved, and that's what you got to live with. Ball forward for Monasterevin. Padraig Nash was really well there. He was maybe second favourite against Kevin Keneally, but he came away with the ball. Gets it inside to Kevin Fitzpatrick. Goal chance here. Fitzpatrick shoots. Oh, lovely finish. Outside of the right foot, finds the bottom left-hand corner. But again, it was Padraig Nash. He's a much smaller man than Kevin Keneally. He was second favourite. He did brilliantly well to win that ball. Send it through to Fitzpatrick, and a really calm, cool and composed finish by Kevin Fitzpatrick to find the bottom corner of the Lexlip net. And with 23.5 minutes played, it's Monasterevin 1-2, Lexlip Lexlip 3 points.
Great ball into Nash. It went up high. He had no reason to win it. It was never his ball. There was 2 Lexlip men around it. He tapped it down to himself. He didn't lose the head. He's seen a great run from Fitzpatrick inside, but Fitzpatrick left with an awful lot to do. Won the ball on 30-metre line, was tackled and put a lovely low shot to the keeper's left into the corner of the net. Fantastic score by Monasterevin. Well worked.
We talked about the possibility of Wayne Fitzpatrick appearing in the second half for Monasterevin. He is definitely the scorer in the family. Kevin, his brother, more of a workhorse around the middle third for Monasterevin, but he's popped up with a goal and a point so far. And Monasterevin now looking to kick on. Padraig Nash has time and space, and Nash sends that one up high, sends it up wide. He's frustrated with himself because a player of his quality under no real pressure would have expected to score from that sort of range.
Yeah, and I suppose the biggest thing there was Lexlip were leaving themselves exposed at the back. They left themselves 3v3, and the ball was always going to be played into Nash. He's the go-to man for Monasterevin, and he played onto his left foot and put it wide. He'll be disappointed with that one.
Yeah, Nash obviously involved an awful lot. What would your thoughts be about him maybe progressing to the Kildare senior team? He's obviously a huge talent, but I suppose with a player of his stature, there are maybe worries about his physique. Could he maybe be up to county football at the highest level?
Yeah, no, absolutely. He has all the raw ingredients. I'm sure Ross and Jack and the lads inside Tom Priven will definitely have him back in again this year. I suppose commitment, I don't think he lacks commitment. He wants it. I know that. I know Pádraig a little bit, and he does want to be involved in around Kildare, and it's up to himself after that. I mean, there is a transition from under 20s minors into the Kildare senior team, and it's going to be no different for Pádraig. He's probably going to have a little bit more patience, and I'm sure his day will come.
Monasterevin looking to make sure that this is their day. Ryan Bannon back to Padraig Nash again, swarmed around quickly, but Nash gets the ball back to Bannon. Now it's Tristan Kennedy who takes over just outside the 45. John O'Toole now on the right hand side, faced up by Darren McDermott, but O'Toole again showing that he can be an influence in the attacking third as well as the defensive third. Gets the pass away to Tristan Kennedy, but his shot drifts past the post, and with 4 minutes left in the first half, it remains Monasterevin 1-2, Lexlip 3 points. So Monasterevin getting the noses in front, and I suppose that's important because Lexlip are a side who maybe like to get a lead, like to become compact and play in the counter attack, keep things defensive. But with Monasterevin getting that first goal, it means that Lexlip have to come out and play on the front foot a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't think Lexlip will veer away from their game plan. They've been doing it in Division 1 all year. They won their first 3 games in the league, and they look very structured. It took a while for us when we played them with Carberry to break them down, but they're very well organised. In fairness to their manager, he has them well structured, and they know the game plan. So I don't think they're going to veer away from it, albeit probably need to try and get maybe 1 or 2 runners, particularly around the half forward line, because they're very, very defensive with very few transition out defence to help in the attack.
It's Monasterevin now who have 14 men back behind the ball, 14 men inside their own 45 here, all bar Padraig Nash as Ronan Fitzsimons plays the ball forward, and it's broken loose. Niall White is on the ball with Tommy Mullick in that position again, ghosting in at the back post, and White can't convert at the end. It's a wide ball, but Tommy Mullick, we've seen it doing time and time again for Kildare down through the years. He did it in the semi-final for Lexlip against Salas, popping up at the back post to get a goal laid on to seal that win, and for a big man he can just ghost in unnoticed sometimes, and it was a good ball towards him, but Niall White couldn't quite apply the finishing touches after Mullick knocked it down. Tommy is actually really good at that, at ghosting in, and Fitzsimons, a fair play, a fantastic diagonal ball into him, won well. It's a pity with Niall White's execution was poor enough, but again I think he was looking for a bit of contact, and once it didn't come, he ran out of ideas. He thought he was going to get a penalty. Shot comes in for Jack Travers, but it goes across the face of the goal, and it's a wide ball. So 2.5 minutes left of normal time here in the first half. Monasterevin a goal and 2 points, Lexlip 3 points. Kevin Fitzpatrick has scored a goal and 2 of that total for Monasterevin. The kick out comes from Aaron Bannon Whelan. This time he goes long, looks for the run of Lenny Havens, who had got himself free, but the kick out is just a little bit overhit there. John Dorn able to tidy it up for Lexlip. Kieran Fadian, now it's Tommy Mullick. Mullick this time is the man sending the ball into the forward line. Lovely ball into the chest of Eamon Murphy, and off to Paddy Marr, and that I would imagine is pretty much a textbook Lexlip score there. Mullick into the chest of Murphy. Marr already on the run even before the ball landed in Murphy's chest. The quick layoff of Paddy Marr, a lovely score to get Lexlip back to within a point.
Beautiful score. It's as good a score you'll see at any level. Tommy Mullick playing a diagonal ball across and won very cleanly inside the 21 by Murphy, and off his shoulder went Paddy Marr, and it was always going to be a score with Marsh. Very, very, very active for his second score in the game.
1-2 from Monasterevin, 4 points for Lexlip. 90 seconds of normal time remaining here in the first half. Our coverage today brought to you in association with Pacquiao Skoda of Ballybridis. And we are in the dying stages here of the first half of the 2019 Intermediate Football Final. And Tristan Kennedy is on the ball for the Monasterevin side, who hold a 1-point lead at this stage in the game. Kennedy to Owen Stapleton. Stapleton now just inside his own 45. Passes out to the left-hand side to Gavin Worrell. Forward looking for Kevin Dunn, but it goes over Dunn's head and it's picked up here by Paddy Marr. Back on his own 65 there to collect that ball. John Doran back to Conor Flynn. Flynn to Paddy Marr again here on the right hand side. Now Ronan Fitzsimons collected that pace. He has John Doran inside him. Doran on the 45 skips inside. Cormac Stapleton plays a good ball forward. No, it's actually not the best of balls. Actually looking for the run of Kieran Fadian. Needed to be a little bit more of an angle on that pass to pick out the run off Fadian. Just hit a little bit straight and Fadian wasn't able to collect it. Here comes Kevin Fitzpatrick for Monasterevin. Plays it off the outside of the right boot into the left hand corner. Doesn't find its intended target, but there was a kick to nothing and will be a free kick. I'm not even sure that Fitzpatrick realised the referee was playing the advantage there. But it is a whistle blown and the ball will be brought back to where Fitzpatrick gathered the ball at first. Back on inside his own 65. So it is a free kick to Monasterevin. Kevin Dunn will take it. Just seconds left of normal time here at the end of the first half, plus whatever time has to be added on here. Dunn goes backwards with the free kick, collects it again. There's just been a change there for Monasterevin. Darrell Dunn has come in. The ball into the centre of the field here for John O'Toole. O'Toole spots a bit of a gap between two Lexlip defenders, carries it forward, but again the referee is playing the advantage. O'Toole collected a bit of a slap in the face for himself earlier in that move. Paul Maloney with the free kick on the Lexlip 65. Padraig Nash collected. Back to Maloney again. Maloney heads toward the 45 and has support from Nash. Nash back in then to Owen Stapleton to Maloney. Maloney forward to Padraig Nash on the edge of the D now. Has another man inside but looks to take the shot on. And Nash just drops it over the crossbar. Beautiful skill. Padraig Nash involved in everything that Monasterevin are doing going forward. We've played 1 minute of injury time and it's now Monasterevin 1-3, Lexlip 4 points.
Maloney found him there with a lovely little pop pass there over the shoulder and put Nash into space. But in fairness to Warwick, he did an awful lot of work there inside the D. There was a few Lexlip lads around him, but he's such quick feet and he showed them onto the right. They all bought the dummy and he put it onto the left and popped it over between the posts. Fantastic score by Nash.
And that is the last action of the first half as Costello sells the ball out, so half-time whistle is blown. So it is Monasterevin who hold a 2-point advantage at the half-time break. Monasterevin 1-3, Lexlip 4 points. That goal coming after 24 minutes. Kevin Fitzpatrick with a beautiful low finish after Padraig Nash's pass. So both sides head to the dressing room here. Philly, obviously Monasterevin with the lead will be the happier of the two sides. But Lexlip, they've shown as well in patches that they will cause real problems in the second half as well.
Right, let's head back over then to Ger McNally and Philly Wolf. Second half getting back up and running in the Pitman Traffic Intermediate Football Championship Final. Lexlip against Monasterevin. Ger.
Yes, Owen, just in time here, both sides back on the pitch here, and we're almost ready to go here again in this intermediate football final. What's in store over the next half hour or so? Both these sides, hopefully they'll be the ones on the steps here in St. Connor's Park, lifting the trophy. Monasterevin with the advantage at half time, but Lexlip looking to make ground straight away. The ball played in long there by Ronan Fitzsimons, but too long actually, went over the head of Niall White and through to the Monasterevin goalkeeper Aaron Bannon Whelan, and it's DJ Early now who takes over for Monasterevin. 1-3 for Monasterevin, 4 points for Lexlip. DJ Early again on the ball for Monasterevin inside his own 45. Darrell Dunn to Owen Stapleton. And Monasterevin working it through the hands here. DJ Early is tackled there by Paddy Marr, right under the nose of Brian Lonigan, but it's actually Early who's conceded the foul, I think, for overcarrying the ball. So Monasterevin almost giving the ball away here, and the free kick was taken by Tommy Mulick. He was looking to play it inside to Ronan Fitzsimons. It was half blocked by a Monasterevin man who surely wasn't the required distance away from the ball there. I'm not even sure the referee saw that. I think he had his back turned to it, expecting Mulick to settle down and shoot for a point.
Yeah, I suppose Tommy took the chance to play a quick free, and it didn't pay off for him, and referee rightly play on.
And it could be a goal here. It is a goal. Paul Maloney, 70 seconds into the second half, and Monasterevin have made Lexlip pay for that, and Kieran Fadian, he has gone straight to the referee. He's appealing that free kick should have been retaken. The referee has come over here to talk with the linesman Billy O'Connell. Monasterevin very quick to work the ball up the far end of the field, and Paul Maloney sticks it in the back of the net, but well, the referee has spoken with the linesman. He's now heading in. It's going to be ruled out here, is it?
Yes, I think so, definitely.
And, well, would you believe it, I think it is going to be ruled out, and I'm not quite sure. Yeah, is he going to bring the ball up now? He is. Well, that is an amazing call that they are going to bring the ball back up here, and the Mulick free kick that was half blocked down by a Monasterevin man. Well, how has the play been allowed to go on that far? There was a full 30 seconds of play. I actually think they're getting to the right decision. It probably should have been retaken. The Monasterevin man wasn't far enough back, but the referee waved those appeals away. The play went on, and Monasterevin got a goal at the far end, but the referee now has come back and ruled it out on the advice of the linesman. And Mulick has taken the free kick. It's short, but what's going on here?
Yeah, it was a strange one there. Tommy took a quick free, I think. It hit the Monasterevin player, and the ball fell into another Monasterevin player's hand, and they broke down the field, 80 yards down the field, and worked a fantastic goal with Nash sidestepping the keeper, and it being palmed to the net by Maloney. And then the linesman got involved, and he's after calling it back, and he brought the ball back 80 yards. It's a very, very strange one from Brendan Colley and Billy O'Connell, his linesman on this side, but look, it's done now, and two teams may just get on with it.
Yeah, probably two of our most experienced and maybe our best officials as well. Billy O'Connell, the linesman, Brendan Colley, the referee, and it probably was the right decision in that the free kick should have been retaken, but once kind of Colley didn't get a good view of it, he had his back turned probably to it, expecting Mulick to shoot for a point. Play allowed to go down the full length of the field, ending with a Monasterevin goal, but then ruled out. A real controversy over that moment, and I'm sure if Monasterevin end up losing this game, that Brian Lonigan will have plenty to say about that after the match. But Monasterevin have plenty of time to make sure that isn't the defining moment of the match, and they still, of course, are ahead at the moment, 1-3 to 4 points. And as we said, no real complaints from Monasterevin. They weren't too furious, maybe understanding that the right decision was got, albeit a long way around. They're getting the right decision, but there's now Lexlip on the ball. Maybe Lexlip will get a bit of a boost from that. They thought that they conceded a second goal. They thought they had fallen 5 points behind, but instead just 2 points, and now a chance to be just 1 point behind. Ronan Fitzsimons shooting at the post, but that one goes wide, and it's a wide ball, and Monasterevin just had to put that out of their heads now and concentrate on the football again 4 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, look, it swings around about that could give Lexlip a little bit of a lift, and something that they probably really need at this stage. But ball just hopping around there for Fitzsimons took I suppose the right decision to take just a pure execution of the shot there, and it just went to the right hand side and wide.
The ball is out over the sideline here in front of us on the main stand side. It's a Lexlip ball taken quickly by Tom Gibbons, back to Tommy Mulick, tackled by Sean Kavanagh, and Kavanagh forces the turnover, forces Mulick to carry that ball too far without getting a solo or a hop in, and Kavanagh enjoyed that moment of turning over. Tommy Mulick wins inside a free kick inside the 45. almost 5 minutes late here in the second half. No score so far in the second half, or simply no score that would allow it to stand on the scoreboard. This allowed Monasterevin goal. Still Monasterevin 1-3, 4 points for Lexlip. John O'Toole on the ball, carries it out. Now Tristan Kennedy, and Kennedy sends it long, looking to get Padraig Nash involved for the first time in the second half. And Nash beautifully shrugs off Kevin Keneally, gets the benefit is out from the referee that it wasn't a foul. Nash carries it forward, lifts it up off the ground and puts it over the crawl. No, it's a wide ball. Nash thought it was a point. It's a wide on the near side. He looks over at the linesman on the far side, looking for help there. He doesn't get any. A wide ball, a missed chance, and handed it off for Lexlip.
Yeah, no, the second actually involvement in the second half, he was heavily involved in the goal. It wasn't, but he won a great ball on the sideline there, Nash, and he turned his man. He's given Keneally an awful time, and he was confident enough that he had scored it, but the umpire had other things in mind.
Kick out from the Costello in goal for Lexlip was a strange one. It went through everybody, and Owen Stapleton had to race back facing his own goal to collect it on the 45, and he was shoved in the back then. Wins the free kick, and Monasterevin quickly moved down the far end of the field. Nash on the 45 inside to Ryan Bannon. Bannon maybe didn't have the best of first half, but it's come to life here with an excellent score. Shrugs off his man, and it's a fine finish indeed, and it's Monasterevin 1-4, Lexlip 4 points.
Yeah, lovely ball kicked in front of Nash, wins it on the 45, turns onto his left foot, pops it in front of Bannon, and Bannon using his strength pushes his man away and swings it over just a little bit over the crossbar, and great right footed shot just inside the fantastic score by Bannon.
It's the first change of the afternoon, or first permanent substitution anyway for Lexlip. Neil Jordan, who came in for a couple of minutes in the first half while Tom Gibbons was receiving treatment to a blood injury. He replaces Eamon Murphy. Jordan, another experienced campaigner down through the years for Lexlip, makes trips into the game here. 1-4 from Monasterevin, 4 points for Lexlip. That 24th minute goal from Kevin Fitzpatrick separating the sides. So here's Paddy Maher now, plenty of space in the centre of the field. Jack Travers now takes over. Ronan Fitzsimons back to Tommy Mulick, and now Maher takes over again, spots a bit of a gap. Maher carries it on into the D. DJ Early gets across, got a tackle on him that just about held up Maher. John Doran now takes over for Lexlip, sends up a shot from the right hand side. It's a wide ball, but the referee is signalling for a foul. It will be, I think, a free kick and maybe a late challenge. Maybe that ball should be brought into the 14 metre line perhaps, but it looks as if it's going to be where the foul took place, and Paddy Maher will go out towards the right hand side and we'll take this. I'm not quite sure, that late tackle maybe and the ball that went dead, it could have been brought into the 14 metre line in front of the post. Instead it's from a pretty difficult angle, especially as Maher is a right footed kicker. We'll take this one right footed from the right hand side on the 14 metre line. A difficult one, a tight angle. I don't think he's got it. The umpires look at each other, and it is a wide ball, and it is a missed opportunity for Lexlip at the end of that, with Maher shooting wide.
Yeah, I suppose at this level you'd love to have a free taken from both sides, but unfortunately for Lexlip they have to get Maher to take the frees on the wrong side, and he'll be disappointed with that one.
First Eamon Murphy has just made way for Lexlip. Perhaps he would have taken that had he been on the field, but he is gone now for Lexlip, so Paddy Maher taking over free taking duties, and that was about as difficult as it could have been for a right footed taker. Monasterevin having to battle hard in the centre of the field. The two number 8s here, Sean Kavanagh carrying it forward under real pressure from Ronan Fitzsimons, and Lenny Havens is there in support. Havens back to Owen Stapleton. Padraig Nash on the ball in the centre of the field, and Nash carries it forward. Nash trying to get away from Tommy Mulick. Mulick giving good chase. Nash stops, checks, jinks one way, then the other, left footed, drops in short. Ryan Bannon clips. Ryan Bannon shoots. Brilliant block back there. And was it touched on the ground? It's touched just outside the small square, so I think it will be a free in the 14 metre line. It was only barely outside the small square. A little bit unlucky there for the Lexlip centre back Brian Gibbons, because it was a magnificent block from the shot from Bannon. Probably saved a certain goal, but it will be a top over free kick here for Bannon. Again, Nash involved around the 45 metre line. A shot dropped short. Bannon could have got a goal out of it. Instead he gets a 14 metre free, and it's 1-5 for Monasterevin, 4 points for Lexlip.
Definite shot from Padraig Nash, dropped short, and Bannon bailed him out. Caught a great ball in the air, but fantastic block by the Lexlip player there then, and unfortunately for him, he touched on the ground, Bannon, after executing the free from 13 metres. Monasterevin 4 points up here. Lexlip well in it though.
Yeah, but Lexlip will be quite anxious that that 4 point lead doesn't get extended too much further, because they will They don't want to be chasing the game too much. They want to be certainly in the match heading into the final stages. But it's Monasterevin looking to build in that lead. Ryan Bannon off to Padraig Nash. Nash again gets the shot away and again drops a little bit short. And this time Ryan Bannon isn't in around the goal to collect the ball. And instead it's the Lexlip goalkeeper Kyle Costello who collects it. Forward now to Tommy Mulick. Lexlip will look to Mulick now for leadership and for sheer quality around the middle third, as they look to get themselves back into the game. Jack Travers as well there to carry the ball forward. Jesse Hines now collects it under pressure on the Monasterevin 45. Has to check back to Ronan Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons lobs it forward. The good ball. Miles White, it just couldn't gather it in. It was just too far. White got a hand to it, but it's Aaron Bannon Whelan, the Monasterevin goalkeeper, who tidies it up, carries it out, passes off to Tristan Kennedy. And Monasterevin are back under control, composed possession here with Gavin Worrell. Tackled then by Paddy Maher, lost the ball, but Worrell and Lenny Havens gather it up again for Monasterevin. All Stapleton forward then, and John O'Toole collects the ball at pace. O'Toole carries it out of own 65. He's got 3 Lexlip men in chase, but still O'Toole on the ball. Carries it into the 45. Now he needs support here, but he was too quick for his own teammates there. He checked back, looked for support, and there was no one near him, and eventually concedes the possession, and just too quick for his own teammates. Nobody could keep up with him.
Yeah, fantastic break by O'Toole there, about 50 yards, and no one could get up to give him a support. But there was 3 Lexlip lads, and they done really, really well. They could have gave away the foul, but they stood him up, and he overplayed the ball, and now Lexlip come away with it.
41 minutes played in this year's intermediate football final. Our coverage today from St. Conan's Park here on KFM, brought to you in association with Pat Kyoskoda of Ballybridis. We have Philly Wolf joining us here in the commentary box for what is turning out to be a very entertaining game. Monasterevin with a 4-point lead, 1-5 for Monasterevin, 4 points for Lexlip. Lexlip though coming forward, looking to close that gap. Kieran Fadian collects the ball on the left hand side, backwards towards side the 45 to Ronan Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons plays it across the 45 to Desi Hines. He collects it with time as Monasterevin drop into the 45. Hines encouraged to take the shot on, and maybe upon reflection he would have preferred to work that closer to the goal. Took it on from about 45 metres with the angle and couldn't find the target. It's a wide ball.
Yeah, they're putting out of ideas. They're probably going to have to change something here. They're not getting numbers forward, and Hines there from 45 metres took the wrong decision and put that wide. And Monasterevin look very, very comfortable at the minute. They're getting numbers back and they're smothering out Lexlip, and I just feel that something has to give here for Lexlip, because they can't continue with this game plan any longer. Otherwise this game is going to get too far and away from them.
Well, they only scored 1 point in the opening 22 minutes of the first half. They haven't scored yet with 12 minutes played here in the second half, but they have won a free kick in a very scoreable position as Monasterevin look to make a change here. I think it's Kevin Mulpeter coming into the action. There's a heavily strapped left knee there, but he's going to replace Kevin Dunn in the Monasterevin lineup. The 43rd minute, and Neil Jordan gets ready to take this free kick, and Paddy Maher took the free kick right-footed from the right-hand side, but now at a much more natural position for a right-footed taker. Neil Jordan will take it. He's going to take it from the ground as well, interestingly enough. Maybe 30 metres out from the end line, to the left of the post. Substitute for Lexlip will replace Damon Murphy in the second half. Strikes the free kick, strikes it beautifully well, and that's the first score in the second half for Lexlip. And although Monasterevin have generally been in control of this game, Lexlip are right there now, just that goal separating the sides again with 17 minutes to play.
Yeah, first free that was taken for a shot off the ground, and he looks very comfortable, Neil Jordan. I suppose you'd wonder maybe why he hasn't started, because sometimes you could carry a free taker there, you get your 6 or 7 scores, and Lexlip have missed a few and probably could have done with them early on.
Monasterevin though working the ball short. Cormac Stapleton carrying it outside the 45 and looks to pass inside then to DJ Early, who had to collect that one and really had to stretch to reach that pass to gather it in one-handed with 3 Lexlip men around them, and then won a free kick for the side. Did really well there, DJ Early. Now it's all Stapleton coming to the centre of the field for Monasterevin. Has the goal scorer Kevin Fitzpatrick for support. Fitzpatrick low down the right hand side to Padraig Nash. He has struck it off his left foot, and that's a magnificent piece of skill again from Padraig Nash. Sold the dummy solo off a stronger right foot, got it onto the left foot, send it up high, and he has been in top form this afternoon, and he makes it Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 5 points.
Brilliant score from Nash. A super movement. Won the ball at the Kilcullen end, stand side, dummies off the right, tips it over with his left foot. There's no marking Nash today. Unbelievable stuff.
3 points from play to his name, as well as a couple of assists as well. And it's a 4-point lead once again for Monasterevin. An immediate reply from Monasterevin following that Neil Jordan free kick. Monasterevin though conceded the foul deep inside Lexlip territory. It will be a Lexlip free back inside the D here, taken by Tom Gibbons, short to Tommy Mullick, collects it on his 45, sprays it out to the right hand side, heading towards the midway point here in the second half of this year's intermediate football final. Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 5 points. Ronan Fitzsimons on the ball from Monasterevin, on the Monasterevin 45, sorry, it's Lexlip of course from Ronan Fitzsimons leading the charge here. Kieran Fadian out to the left to Dan McDermott, who was sent off around this time of the semi-final win over Salins. Very much still involved here at the moment for Lexlip though. John Doran, Lexlip working the ball from left to right, trying to find the gap. Maybe they have now. Tom Gibbons, and as soon as it looked as if he got beyond the Monasterevin defence, DJ Early very quick to get back, but just a little bit over enthusiastic in his tackling, concedes the foul, and it will be a free kick for Lexlip. And it will be a chance for Mar, but again, Mar will have to shoot from the right hand side, and I suppose when Monasterevin know that there's not a left-footed free taker now for Lexlip, they can maybe afford to be a little bit more aggressive on the tackling on that side of the pitch. This one though for Mar, it is, I'd say 6 or 7 metres closer to the centre of the goal really, from the 14 metre line. Should be a score, it is a score for Mar. So 14 minutes left in this game, and Lexlip back to within 3 points, and it looks as if they're going to stand for one of the talented young players in their ranks. Jack Barrett was a teammate on the Kildare team last year of Monasterevin's O'Toole, Nash and Early. A very good young forward himself, and he will replace Niall White for the last quarter of this game, with Lexlip still chasing things. Still that goal between them, and Lexlip haven't been able to get close to that goal since the second half. It remains 1-6 to 6 points.
Yeah, good free there from Maher. Fairness to him, he stole a few yards. Wrong side for right footer, but there was no mistake in that one. He put it straight between the posts, and fantastic catch by Lenny Havens, and Monasterevin break up the field there now with Paul Maloney on the ball.
Havens and Maloney link up well. Maloney tackled from behind by Ronan Fitzsimons and also Jack Travers. No free given, and Maloney did really well there. Strong play there from Maloney to hold off the two Lexlip players and get the ball back to DJ Early. Early forward now. Padraig Nash on the ball once again for Monasterevin. Nash to Ryan Bannon. Bannon skips inside his man beautifully, but then with his shot can't find the target wide of the post. And good approach play again there involving Early, Nash and Bannon, with just a wide ball at the end of it all. 13 minutes to play. Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 6 points.
DJ Early with explosive there, power coming out of the defence with the ball, and he only had one thing on his mind, and get it off to Nash, and Nash, in fairness to him, knew the goal was blocked with a couple of Lexlip men in front, and he laid off a great ball to Ryan Bannon there, who was just pure execution of the kick pass.
John Doran gave the ball away just outside his own 45, but Toole couldn't quite gather it in, and Lexlip have it again here. It's Darren McDermott trying to make ground down the right hand side, and Kevin Mulcahy makes a beautiful tackle there, forcing the ball out over the sideline. Lexlip get it back into play very, very quickly indeed. Across into the centre now. Tom Gibbons has a bit of space here in the centre of the field. Monasterevin of 13 men back behind the ball. Here's Jack Barrett on the ball, his first involvement since coming into the sub. He has support here from Conor Flynn, but his pass inside is intercepted there by Owen Stapleton. Stapleton forced into the corner, has support though from his brother Cormac, and Monasterevin go back to their goalkeeper Aaron Bannon Whelan. Now it's Gavin Worrell who takes over for Monasterevin. Darrell Dunn spins away from a Lexlip man. It's out here to Kevin Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick collects the ball, looks up the field, but Padraig Nash and Ryan Bannon are a long way from the ball and showing no interest in getting involved here. Monasterevin will have to run it from the fence instead. Gavin Worrell carries it outside the 45. Bit of a gap up the left hand side, but Worrell is on his own really, running into two Lexlip men, and he's given the ball away. Paddy Maher wins it back for Lexlip. 12 minutes left in this game. Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 6 points. Jack Barrett on the ball for Lexlip. Forward to Jack Travers. Travers on the edge of the D, still going forward. Travers tackled by Owen Stapleton, goes to ground then with Padraig Nash and Lenny Havens also getting back there from Monasterevin, and it will be a free kick for Lexlip. Very close to goal, just in front of the post here, 14 metres out. A chance for a top over for Barrett, and that will leave just 2 points in it with 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, Lexlip going through a bit of a purple patch here, and Monasterevin just taking the foot off the gas a little bit, but Jack Barrett, he's been lively enough. He's making himself available for every pass, and again he was instrumental in winning that free there, and looks like he might tap this ball over the bar from 13 metres to put two between the teams.
Change for Monasterevin. It looks like it's the goal scorer Kevin Fitzpatrick making way. But Fitzpatrick Scored a goal and a point in the first half, including the first score of the match and that 24th minute goal that separates the sides at the moment. He's replaced by the very experienced Mark Kelly, another one of those veterans from the 2012 intermediate Kildare and Leinster winning Monasterevin sides. So he will come in for the last 11 minutes or so. Jack Barrett has made no mistake from that free kick, so it's just 2 points separating the sides now. 1-6 from Monasterevin, 7 points for Lexlip. Aaron Bannon Whelan gets the ball back into play, smashes it down the centre of the field. There's a huge collision there between 4 players jumping for the ball, but it breaks loose, and it breaks loose to a Lexlip man. John Doran plays it forward to Jack Barrett. Barrett though can't quite gather it in as Cormac Stapleton wins the ball, and Mark Kelly then collects it for Monasterevin. Straight into the action, Mark Kelly. He's a very high-scoring forward back in 2012 from Mark Kelly. He's more of a wing-back these days, and that's the position he takes up for Monasterevin here for the final 10 minutes. Sean Kavanagh now on the ball. Now it's Tristan Kennedy looking to play that forward. It's Cameron Warren actually, but it goes out over the sideline. Ronan Fitzsimons put him under real pressure there, taking that long ball forward. Patio Skoda of Ballybrid is supporting our coverage here from St. Colum's Park this afternoon. A really exciting and closely fought intermediate final. Not very high scoring, but very entertaining indeed, and still right in the melting pot here with 9 minutes left. Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 7 points. Lexlip coming forward here. They really are putting the pressure on Monasterevin at this stage in the game, but the two Jacks linking up there, Barrett and Travers, can't quite gather the ball. Ball spills loose. It's a little bit untidy as Owen Stapleton dives in there. It's just outside the Monasterevin 45. Still there, loose now, and Cormac Stapleton comes away with it. And with a little bit more conviction there, Lexlip maybe could have forced a really important turnover, but as Monasterevin has showed the greatest determination, and John O'Toole's ball forward to Kevin Mulpeter. They've actually broken past that kind of first line of Lexlip defence. Mulpeter now into the 45, lines up a shot, and well, optimistic to say the least there from Kevin Mulpeter off his left foot, off balance, drops a long way short and a long way wide, but kept in play by Kyle Costello. Lexlip coming away with it. And Lexlip now have a chance to come forward. We've got a second wolf in the commentary box here for the last exciting 8 minutes or so of this game. Billy joined by his son here, one of the best supporters in Kildare GAA, follows all sorts of teams everywhere, always in St. Colum's Park. And he's going to enjoy the finale here as Lexlip pressing very hard indeed, trying to find a way through this very well organised and very well structured Monasterevin defence. Monasterevin have really had to dig deep to win their quarter-final, to win their semi-final. Won both of those games by a single point, and it's going to go right to the wire here again, with Lexlip coming on strong here. But have Lexlip got the quality in the forward line to find a way through? Here's Tom Gibbons back to Darren McDermott, was faced up by 3 or 4 defenders, has to go the long way around onto the 14-metre line. Nobody in support there from McDermott. The ball spills loose, and then it's DJ Early who kicks the ball out towards the sideline. There's a Lexlip man down on the ground. There will be a Lexlip sideline ball on the right hand side. There'll have to be a treatment for a Lexlip man first of all. I'm not quite sure who that is, but it's very scrappy at the moment. The thing is, Monasterevin have that defence there, protecting that lead at the moment, and just have Lexlip got that bit of quality to find the key to open the lock here at the moment.
Yeah, look, Jack Barrett has been very instrumental there in getting himself involved, and has pushed Lexlip on to another level. And I suppose just going back to the officials here, I think Brendan Cawley and Billy O'Connell, and I'm not too sure it's the far side, they've have done a fantastic job, in fairness to them. I know that call earlier on, it was a difficult enough one for them, but overall you wouldn't even know that they're officiating. They've got all the calls right, and that's testament to the three of them boys, in fairness.
Jack Travers, who's the Lexlip man who needs a bit of treatment here just outside the D. Hopefully he'll be okay. I think it's actually a free kick away in the far side, not a sideline ball. Cormac Stapleton slid in, so it's a foul committed, and Jack Barrett has placed this ball up with great intent here, and it's only not even a metre in from the sideline, I would say, or right on the far side, 40 metres from the end line. It's a really tricky kick for a right-footed kicker as well. Just over 6 minutes to go in this game. 1-6 for Monasterevin, 7 points for Lexlip. This will be the sort of inspirational score that Lexlip would require if Barrett can land this. Approaches the ball, strikes it. It's going to go across the face of the goal. It's going to go stay in play at the back post, kept in play. Tommy Mullick is there. He's on his hands and knees on the ball. He's got 4 Monasterevin men on his back. The ball is turned over, and it's Cormac Stapleton who comes away with it for Monasterevin. Forward to John O'Toole, has to come back towards the goal to collect it under pressure for Ronan Fitzsimons. Now he can collect it going forward towards the Lexlip goal. O'Toole kicks it forward now, looking for the run on Ryan Bannon. It's 2v2 in the Lexlip 45. Now Bannon has support from, wouldn't you guess it, Padraig Nash, and Keneally gets across, makes the tackle, no foul given. Monasterevin felt that Keneally fouled Nash then, but you have to say Nash has got the better of Keneally overall this afternoon, but good defending on this occasion by Keneally.
Yeah, fantastic defending. He backed himself there and he got a great hand in and used his body then to knock the ball away. But Monasterevin starting to find a bit of form here again, and they're going to have to probably pull one or two scores now to make sure that this game is over.
DJ Early carries it forward through to Bannon. Now it's Nash to Paul Maloney, back outside to Tristan Kennedy. John O'Toole now on the ball for Monasterevin. 5 minutes left in this year's intermediate football final. Monasterevin leading by 1-6 to Lexlip's 7 points. Monasterevin haven't scored now for 10 minutes, but they are past masters at just minding a lead, minding possession, and making sure not to give away anything silly in the back line. John O'Toole sends up a shot at the end of all that, but it's not a good shot. It's past the post. It's a wide ball, and Lexlip have a chance to get this back into play here. Just over 4 minutes now left on the clock. Monasterevin 1-6, Lexlip 7 points. Wayne Fitzpatrick continues to roll below. I wonder will we see him for the last 2 minutes in this game. It's a wonderful kick out, and Mulick collects it on the right hand side, and Mulick immediately turns, sends it low into the feet there of Neil Jordan, who bends and wins it in front of Darryl Dunn. Mulick joins in support, takes a quick give and go with Jordan. Lexlip have men over here on the left hand side as they can get the ball out. Jack Barrett plays it out, and it's just behind Kieran Fadian. Fadian has to check his run and go back and collect that. Plays it up the left hand side, inside the Monasterevin 45 now. Ronan Fitzsimons coming in from the left wing, plays it inside to Jack Barrett to Paddy Marr. Monasterevin working incredibly hard in the back line here, making sure nothing easy for Lexlip. Barrett takes the shot on. Mulick at the back post there. I think he was trying to engineer a foul, and a full credit to the referee there, because he knew exactly what Tommy Mulick was trying to do. He was trying to pull down the Monasterevin defender, make it look like he was being fouled, but the referee was spot on again to get the free out.
Again, yeah, Tommy ghosted into the back there, and he was looking for that high ball. It probably just left him a little bit short, but you know, at this stage from either team they'll try anything, and wasn't a bad move from Tommy. He could have got away with a penalty there, but it went the opposite way.
John O'Toole carries it forward. Nash now on the ball, gets around Keneally, but Jack Travers, that was superb, making that tackle, and it looks as if Padraig Nash maybe has twisted his ankle there, and that maybe is the end of Padraig Nash's game. Travers got back to make the tackle. I think Monasterevin were just about to bring in Wayne Fitzpatrick anyway. Whether it'll be for Nash or not now remains to be seen, but Fitzpatrick will enter the match here very shortly indeed, back from his tour of duty, back to help out his club here in the final minutes of this match. 2.5 minutes to go. Still Lexlip piling on the pressure here, but as of yet it doesn't look as if they have the know-how, the quality to break down this really well organised Monasterevin defence. Still Lexlip on the ball along the 45. They're being very patient in possession. Can they find the right opening? 2 points between the sides. Ronan Fitzsimons on the ball here. Monasterevin protecting the lead for all they are worth. Jack Travers now on the ball. Switches the point of the attack out here to the left hand side. Paddy Marr on the 20 metre line, looking to create the angle for a shot, which he did pretty well and created the space for himself, but couldn't find the target. Sends it wide, and here is that substitution now for Monasterevin. Wayne Fitzpatrick coming into the game, and I think it is Padraig Nash who's going to make way, or is it actually going to be Ryan Bannon who's going to come off? It is going to be Fitzpatrick to come in. Maybe it's Lenny Havens. I think actually blows. Lenny Havens is going to come off, and Kevin Mulpeter, who had been playing in the full forward line, he's going to come back out the field. So Wayne Fitzpatrick on. There was a missed opportunity there for Paddy Marr after he created that half-yard of space for himself.
Yeah, he was, and in fairness to Monasterevin, they've kept it very tight at the back there. They are structurally sound, and they left Marr with a shot, but it was kind of a high-risk shot. He was out close to the sideline, and you know, Monasterevin probably won't mind too much if Lexlip continue to shoot from them angles.
Lexlip were awarded a free kick there. Monasterevin thought that Kieran Fadian had overcarried the ball, but they said the referee gave it the way of Lexlip, and now they come forward. A bit of space here on the left hand side for Desi Hines on the 20 metre line to Tommy Mulick. Mulick back out to Jack Barrett. Monasterevin again so well organised, getting men between the ball and the goal. Mulick forced outside the 45 to Kieran Fadian. Out to the left now to Jack Barrett. Lexlip make ground inside the 45, but nowhere near the scoring zone. They have to work it back outside the 45 again. Monasterevin have 12 men back inside the 45. They're working so hard here to restrict any sort of opportunity. We often talk about how much excitement attacking football brings in to Gaelic football, but you have to admire the Monasterevin defending. It's just outstanding. They forced a turnover. The ball is tacked forward to Nash. Here's Wayne Fitzpatrick now, forward to Ryan Bannon. Bannon has Nash on the D. Nash trying to hold off Kevin Keneally. Back inside to Ryan Bannon. Bannon with a chance for a goal. I put it wide. That would have sealed the win. Monasterevin did everything right from the turnover in defence. There's a wonderful link-up play in the attack. All that was missing was the finish. Ryan Bannon puts it narrowly past the post.
Absolute Hollywood football here at Conlon between Fitzpatrick, Nash and Bannon. Brilliant ball out. Won brilliantly by Nash. Gave it to Fitzpatrick, who left it inside to Bannon. Offloaded then to Nash. And Bannon got himself back on the ball and puts it wide from about maybe 7 or 8 yards out. Maybe a point at this stage would have been crucial and would have put 3 between the goals, between the sides.
We will have 4 minutes of additional time at the end of this game. We've just gone past the 60-minute mark. 4 minutes of football remaining. 4 more minutes for Lexlip to turn this one around. 4 more minutes for Monasterevin to hold out. It's still Monasterevin 1-6. Lexlip 7 points. Monasterevin defending for their lives here. Mark Kelly forces Ronan Fitzsimons back outside the 45. Jack Barris back to Fitzsimons. Fitzsimons will take on the shot. It's going to drop short into the hands of Monasterevin goalkeeper Aaron Bannon Whelan. Oh, you can cut the tension with a knife here. The two sidelines are so animated at the moment. The supporters in the crowd here are watching on anxiously. Wayne Fitzpatrick is dragged down by Neil Jordan. Borderline black card tackle, borderline black card territory. I think it's just going to be a tick against Jordan though. Monasterevin win the free kick. They've played 1 minute of injury time. Still 3 to go. Stapleton takes the free kick short to Wayne Fitzpatrick. All hands to the pump here for Monasterevin. They had the heartbreak of losing the final last year. Had to say well beaten on the day by 2 Mile House, by a better 2 Mile House side on the day. But Monasterevin have come here this afternoon. They've played really well. They're protecting the lead. They haven't scored for 16 minutes. We spoke to Ross Glavin last week after Murfield only scored a goal and a point in the second half in their semi-final win. He said he didn't care if they scored the second half or not, as long as they got the win. Monasterevin, they're going to get the win here surely. They've defended so well, and when the chances come to Paul Maloney, he's clipped it over the bar. The push inside, 3 points clear, and we are now into the territory of Lexlip needing something quite spectacular and something quite dramatic to save this game.
Yeah, well, in fairness to Wayne Fitzpatrick, he made a massive difference there. He presented himself for that pass. Old Stapleton was just looking around and no one had showed on you Fitzpatrick. He won a couple of balls, offloaded through the middle, and that's how Maloney ended up with the ball over the bar. Fantastic play by Fitzpatrick, and he looks pretty sharp now for a fella who's been out for the last 6 or 7 months.
Less than 2 minutes of injury time to go. There's bodies down everywhere. Padraig Nash is down for Monasterevin. Also a Lexlip man receiving treatment. The play goes on around them. Wayne Fitzpatrick on the ball for Monasterevin. A point now would absolutely be sealed, and Fitzpatrick has been fouled. He still will get the shot away under pressure. Sends it up. The referee signals for the advantage, but then I think it's blown for the free kick, and I think actually Fitzpatrick, heading towards the corner flag, found the range. I think that would have been a score. Looked like he got it over.
It looked like he got it over, but I suppose he's going to waste a bit more time now by bringing the play back, so I don't think Fitzpatrick's going to mind. He looks sharp enough. Fitzpatrick, and Nash is back up and running, and he's moving again. He's probably going to get himself in possession of this free, and Bannon has come into himself in the second half. A really good display overall from the Monasterevin forwards, and Lexlip are still there. There's, Tommy Mulick will go in around the square now. There's still a little over a minute left, and makes for an intriguing 1 minute now.
And Nash had the chance to put Monasterevin 4 points clear here. A difficult enough free out near the 45. Comes around the corner. Nash has scored 3 from play this afternoon. Sends it up. Sends them scoring over the crossbar. On the Monasterevin sideline, celebrate like they know that is the score that ensures their victory this afternoon. It's 1-8 for Monasterevin. 7 points for Lexlip. There's about 30 seconds of football. Surely Monasterevin now have done enough to win this game. Lexlip just have to go for it now. Tommy Mulick wins it in the centre of the field, bats it down to Jack Barrett. Barrett out to the right hand side. Monasterevin are so close, but they can't think that they have the job complete. They are 4 points clear. There can only be seconds left now. Jack Barrett lobs it in, it falls short. Tommy Mulick wins it in the D. Mulick, no point in knocking it over the bar at this stage. They need to try and work a goal. Bodying outside to Tom Gibbons. Gibbons collects it. The Monasterevin supporters want the final whistle. Paddy Marr from the left hand side lobs it across the goal mouth. Monasterevin get a hand to it, it breaks loose, and it's Sean Kavanagh who collects it. Kavanagh away to Mark Kelly, and that should be it for Monasterevin. Paul Maloney carries it forward. DJ Early now on the ball to Mark Kelly. Still Monasterevin go on. Mark Kelly is surrounded, but there is the final whistle, and Monasterevin have won it. Their sideline invade the pitch. They had to suffer the heartbreak of defeat last year. They've had that battle this year. A late goal in the quarter-final against Kilcock saves the day that day. They had a 1-point victory over Clorinco in the semi-final, and they have turned on a defensive masterclass here in the second half today to get the victory over Lexlip. It was a goal in the first half by Kevin Fitzpatrick that gave them the advantage, and once they went 3 points here in the second half, they really did defend for their lives. Some wonderful defending in the last quarter, and it's Monasterevin who get the victory in the end. 1-8 for Monasterevin, 7 points for Lexlip.
Yeah, it was a brilliant game, and the last 10 minutes particularly was a fantastic 10 minutes, and Lexlip, they never gave up, and it's testament to them, to bounce back after going down to team needed last year to get into a final, and no doubt they'll be big guns again next year. But Monasterevin are senior, and that's all that matters to them boys over there. I think overall they deserve this. They played fantastic football. They could never really got the grips with Bannon and Nash inside, and DJ Early and John O'Toole in around the half back line. They'd be in addition to any club at senior level, even at county level. These fellas will be operating, I'd say, please God, within the future. But overall, Monasterevin, I thought, were deserving champions, and celebrations out on the pitch are gone. It's extraordinary levels here, and they're really enjoying this, and you wouldn't blame them, because this is the second year now it's supposed to be here, and they know what defeat tasted like last year, and this year now I suppose they're going to make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so hard to lose a final and then kind of regather yourself and come back again the following year, but Monasterevin have done that, and it's been a tough progression to the final. A tough game here as well in the second half. They really were under pressure at different stages there, but in fairness, you'd have to say, while under pressure, they did remain in control of the game. They defended so well, and you'd have to say full credit to the management and the coaching team, because just defensively they were so well organised, and they knew exactly what to do to make sure they protected that lead and saw it the victory in the end.
Yeah, and I'm glad that goal chance and that goal that was scored by Monasterevin didn't come back to bite them. They won it without, I suppose, that controversy hanging over them. And overall, I think in Monasterevin they kept it nice and tight at the back. They had a game plan. They executed it really well. Their fitness levels were good, and leaving three lads up top the whole time with Maloney, Bannon and Nash was always a great outball to them, and they combined extremely well to put the scores on the board. I know they went from long periods without getting scores, but they were always a threat. And then you had John O'Toole in around the middle. This fella is magnificent athlete, great ball carrier, and he really showed himself on numerous occasions, breaking out of defence and transition from defence into an attack. And then I suppose going back to DJ Early, he might have been quiet here, but he done a fantastic role marking up Lexlip, Eamon Murphy, who went off, and then he was picking up one or two others there that he done a really good job in neutralising. And I suppose going back to the old fellas, Owen Stapleton, really good board number 9 operator around the middle on occasions, but primarily was back in the full back line, and he cleaned it up. He was the leading light back there. He was calm, collective, always looking to take the ball on, always looking to get tackles in. He was fantastic overall today, and I'm delighted for him.
Just had a quick word with some of our other colleagues here in the press box just regarding the man of the match, and I think some of the other guys were edging towards John O'Toole, but I think both of us would probably go for Paul Nash, and I think it might be Nash who gets the nod at the end of it. But either one of those, you mentioned him a couple of occasions, we mentioned him right through the game, both superb, but Nash with 3 from play and that wonderful free at the end that sealed the victory too. I think that justifies, the man of the match award. He also of course got the assist for the goal as well. Yeah, no, he was really good. I suppose it's easier for the forwards to come into the limelight more so than defenders, and going back to Cormac Stapleton there, the captain, he done a really good role at corner back. He won a couple of critical balls and went down on a couple of dirty ones there at the end where people wouldn't have put their feet. His head was going in, and Sean Kavanagh has to be commended for the work that he done. He was given the taskings of following Tommy Mulick, which would be a difficult enough task in itself, as Mulick is one of the fitter players on the pitch here today. Was grafting throughout, and every time you see him, Mulick, you see Kavanagh picking him up. And I suppose going to the Lexlip side then as well, Brian Gibbons and Tom Gibbons have done really good roles for Lexlip. They're probably lacking 1 or 2 clinical players in around the full forward line just to get them over the line, but it just wasn't their day, and
I suppose they just need to regroup now, come back a little bit stronger and harder. I know they're going to be operating Division 2 for next year, but that should lead them into good seed, and they'll beat Monasterevin again in that. And I suppose they have one focus on their mind, and they've a manager there who I would say is one of the young managers from Kildare. He speaks well, he has them extremely well grounded, he's structured, he looks like that they're committed, so he just needs to stick with them. A bunch of things to stick together, and I got out that they will be back here in another intermediate final next year.
Absolutely, I'm sure Lexlip will take heart from Monasterevin, of course, losing last year's final before coming back this season and claiming the victory. But for those who maybe a focus on Monasterevin in terms of their younger players, but there's guys there like Lenny Haven, Mark Kenny, is come on, Christy Dempsey, I can see out there in the field, committed players, I'm sure that you will be training on a transfer, and these are kind of
on behalf of the county board, I just want to say well done to both teams for what was an enthralling game of football, which kept everyone on the edge of the seat with the final whistle. I want to remember all the teams that started the competition back in April to get to the two teams today going into the final, right? And well done to Monasterevin, worthy winners of the 2019 Pitman Intermediate Championship. I want to thank our match officials for their contribution, all the groundsmen who are in the pitch water up in the excellent condition today, all the stewards that helped us at the match throughout the year, and all the supporters that turned up in big numbers to support both their teams. Well done to you all, and thanks very much. Hard luck to Lexlip, lads. I know that you'll be back again. Keep up the good work. We hope to see you next year when your opportunity will come. For all against Monasterevin, and well done on your victory. As I said, worthy champions. You started out the year, you actually won the league also, so it's been a great year for you, so totally deserved. I now want to present the cup, the Hugh Campion Cup, to the captain of the Monasterevin team, Monasterevin. Kildare in the Leinster Championship, and we wish them well and we hope we will bring back the honours to Kildare. I'll now hand you over to the captain, Conor. Acordia, Thomas, on Virtual Rocker, or something? Yeah. First and foremost, lads, I think it'd be remiss of me to start without mentioning Lexlip. It was nip and tuck right to the very end. We have to work our ass off for it. We expect nothing less from us. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of this over the next couple of years. We know ourselves from being in the position where you were last year. It's tough to take, but you regroup, stick together, and I'm sure you'll be back here again next year. I was fortunate enough to stand up here a couple of months ago after winning the league, and I kind of said, we've been patronised and doing it 3 years, and kind of sticking to that, so fair play to you, just stick at it, I'm sure we'll see more of this. On to the Monasterevin side of things. It's a great honour and privilege to stand up here in front of this group of men. It gives me great pride. We've worked night and day over the last year. We were down in the dumps after losing last year. We stuck together. There's great talent in this group. There's a great work rate. There's a great level of dedication maintained over the last year. What more can I say? I'd just like, especially to mention 2 lads that are serving our armed forces as well that aren't here with us today, Stephen McFadden and Keane Harrison. Fair play to these lads who contributed. I'm sure we'll have a few drinks with you when we get back to it in a couple of months' time. Yeah, next bit. Right, so then I'd like to thank the club committee, group volunteers. There's a group of people that work behind the scenes night and day, from Matt Lorgan, chairman, all the way down to committee level. And it's incredible the work that goes in, so fair play to this. There's a group of women that have been helping us out the last couple of weeks as well. Fair play to you. It really means a lot to us. the level of preparation that goes into it is it's not easy and not everybody sees it, so we appreciate it. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank the club sponsors, Fitzpatrick's, and then I'd also like to thank Monasterevin for helping us out with gear for the final. Thanks to you. Darren Aller as well. Then there's a team behind the team, group of selectors, Wayne Gleeson, Stephen Nash, Bonner Brady. Boys, I've been with us the last couple of years. We appreciate every bit of it, fair play to this. Then there's kind of a team behind that team as well, two statsmen, Ben Hull and Lee Hunt. Tony Bamber helps us out with the video. And also, I'd like to thank our physio, John Guiney. And a club legend, always there on match day, Paddy Havens. There's one man deserves a special shout out though, more than anybody else. Puts in unbelievable work. Everybody kind of sees it here today with the club senior team, but he does it 16s, minors, 21s. There's an awful lot of lads that are stood up here on this stage. Fortunate enough to have won Club Under 21 with them a couple of years ago. The same goes with his family. His wife puts in incredible hours too, all with the underage section in the club. Ryan Norgate, thanks to you. Last but not least, thank the supporters. These are always behind us, the always turn out in force. We'll enjoy this one until tonight. Okay, after this popular last year, fair play to them, but now we're talking senior ranks for next year. There's one more presentation, and that's the player of the match. It's sponsored by Tony Dunn here in Newbridge. It's selected by our media colleagues, and today's man of the match is Paul Nash.